effect the programs that he's talking about, to bring them forth in your life. And one of the things that's fairly consistent with them is he talks about there's a special power that we all have that comes with us because we are human beings, and the fact that we can connect to that. So we'll spend a little time on that today. The fact that there is this incredible power that we can connect to, and in connecting to it, change our life. We can actually change our life. So that's a really good thing. And I thought that going into the new year, that it would be a cool thing to think about being great. Now, on this day when it's live like this, we try to stream out on all our available channels, all the social platforms that we have, and also on our own website. Now, it looks like the website might be having a little issue turning on. We'll keep working with it to get it to turn on. But the thing about the website, our website, is that you don't have a chance to actually ask questions. You can just watch from that perspective. So if you want to ask questions, you want to use one of the other social medias, such as Facebook or YouTube, or even come and visit us as we're broadcasting and be a part of the broadcast. So why did we take, and it was a really short read, right? It was like 3 pages if you had probably 12-point font. It's not really long, but it is, again, powerful. So we're going to spend some time with some of our slides and so forth to see if we can get into that idea going forward in 2025, that no matter what has occurred in the past, that we have an opportunity to readjust our lives and tap into an untapped potential that we walk around with every day. So with that said, let's take a look at our first slide. And as you can see, the book and the welcome. The Science of Being Great. That's where the book comes from. I mean, the reading comes from. And the chapter again is, any person may be great. And the fact is that material is still on our website for download. So if you would like to read it yourself, you can do such a thing. All right. Thank you, Sister Patricia, for being here today. We appreciate that. And anyone who wants to chime in, just do so. And I'll be more than happy to acknowledge you if at all possible. There is a principle of power in every person. That's a powerful statement. That's a statement that is saying that no matter where we are in our life, no matter what age we are, and that can affect a lot of us thinking about our age, right? No matter, there is something that's inside of us, that's been inside of us forever. And that it still awaits us. It's still there for us to tap into. Wow. It's still there after all we've been through, after everything that's happened to us, after every experience that we've had. That power, that principle of power remains with us. It remains with us. And what does it say here? By the intelligence, use, and direction of this principle, humans can develop their own mental faculties. Wow. So not only is this principle alive and well in us, we can use tools, our thinking, our feelings, to develop this principle and make it more active in our life. That's pretty good, huh? You sitting there right now, me sitting here right now, no matter what. And I like to harp on that no matter what, because so many of us have been through so much that it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like there is no opportunity to get out of this mess. Been there, done that, probably will do it again. Because this is an experience that we're having called life. As spiritual beings, we're having this experience called life. And it can move up, down, sideways. And it's how we view it that makes it palatable or not. And here, we're being reminded on this slide about the original substance. And that's how we open today. That which created you, that what made you, that which is all around us. The stardust, as I spoke a couple of weeks ago and talked about, we are stardust because everything is everything. We said, what does that mean? Everything comes from the same source. So as we come from the same source, all the things around us and all our ideas come from that same source. And the manifestation of those, or the demonstration, as some people say, comes out of that same source. If we could connect with that idea, connect with that concept that I'm taking what already is and reshaping it. But it's the idea of accepting the fact that it's already in existence. The power principle is already in existence inside of us. It is not something we have to go out and get. It is not something that someone can give us. It is not from any religion. It is a spiritual practice that allows us to awaken it, and connect with it. That's the truth, no matter where you go and no matter who you are. So any person can become great, he says here. Genius is more than just talent. It's more than just talent. So I have talent. Have you ever been told that you're so talented? Wow. Or you see someone that's so talented, why wouldn't they do more with their lives? Have you ever heard that? Well, he's telling us right here, genius is the union of the person and God in the act of the soul. The soul is acting out living life. It is the expression of our life, right? So it is when we unite, as I said, the principle, the power principle is already in place. The God energy is already in place. And it is when we unite with it in our thinking and eventually in our actions. You say, well, I've heard that before. And you'll probably hear it again, because if it's true, it's not going anywhere, you know? It's going to be the same yesterday as it is today, and it's going to be the same tomorrow as it was yesterday. It's not going to change because it is a truth. It is a principle. So no matter where we are, no matter what we've gone through, no matter what has happened, this power principle is within us. And being talented has nothing to do with the success of bringing forth this principle to act out in our lives as the soul expresses itself, to act out in our lives and act out in a very successful or a successful way. See, great persons are always greater than their deeds. What does that mean? What does that mean? To me, it means it takes more than whatever you've produced to produce it. Your greatness comes in the effort. In the effort. The results are a way to keep score. That's what they say about money, just to keep score. But the effort, and understand that. Because when we're going through some stuff sometimes, the effort is the thing that stops us. I just can't do it. I can't go another day to the gym. I can't meditate for another 20 minutes. I can't. But those are the effort things. And it is through the efforts that the deeds come forth. You probably have heard that somebody says, wow, that looks so great, or that dinner is fine. And look at that layout, look at that spread, blah, blah, blah. And the person that did it said, you just don't know the work that I put in to get this on the table. The effort was greater than the deed. Wow, the effort. But what is our effort? Our effort is to connect with that power principle that is within us, always has been, always will be within us. That's our effort. That's our effort. Wow, that's not much of an effort. Oh, that effort takes consistency. Takes consistency. And consistency means that you overcome challenges. The tired challenge, the it's not working challenge, the woe is me challenge, the other people have more challenge. There's so many challenges that we face. So to say to sit and meditate so we can connect, or to work out so we can connect, or whatever it might be that helps us connect, to say that, oh yeah, well, that's nothing. There are just some basic challenges in our lives that inhibit, not prevent, but inhibit us making that connection. And that's why so many people are walking around as the walking dead. And we don't have to be. We don't have to be. Because there's that stuff that's already there that we can connect with if we put the effort in, knowing that no matter how it looks, we're going to put more work in getting it done than the presentation. Wow. The power of conscious growth is humans alone. So it's not like instincts and knowing what to do has not been placed in lower forms of animals. In a tsunami, it is said that animals sense it, and they if they can, they find higher ground to avoid what's to come. So they have an instinct. But he's saying here that, yeah, we have that, but we have something more. We have that power principle that we can connect with. We can consciously connect with. We can consciously bring it forth in our life. We can consciously release our ego to that power. What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying, Rob? What I'm saying is that this power already knows. This power already has the wisdom. And sometimes I've talked to people and been there myself where I just want to do this, or they just feel like, but I've got a handle on this, Rev, and I kind of know it, but did in the old way, in the Orthodox, did you pray on it? Well, I don't pray, I'm New Thought, I don't pray. Did you meditate on it? Well, yeah, I thought about it. I closed my eyes, but did you sit on it for a while and wait for an opening of the heart and the mind to come together? What are you talking about? No, I studied. I'm a student. I went to school. I have the money. But in all of those cases, you can still fail. So if you can fail with all of those support systems, wouldn't it make sense to maybe add a little more to it? And this is what he's challenging us with here. He's saying, I want you to add a little more. I want you to add the connection of the power principle that's already in you. Bring that into play in whatever you're going to do, and move yourself into greatness. And move yourself into greatness. Allow, you could say, the greatness to happen because it's already there. Allow it to happen. Have you ever stood in the way of your greatness? Just ask it. Just ask it. Well, if you want to get out the way of your greatness, let's start working on developing that connection with that power principle and realize that we are unique in this, that yes, They're the animals that know how to move from the low ground to the high ground because the floods are coming. And then there's us that knows how to move from the low ground to the high ground and to build a house on the higher ground. Let's start being all that we are. That's the challenge in 2025 that I set out there for you. Let's start being all that we are. Any person. If you have a mirror, look in the mirror, any person, that means you. As I'm looking into the camera, it means me. Sometimes we just need to know that it can happen so we can allow it to happen. Humans can develop any power which anybody else has done. Whoa. Now, some of the people that we may not feel are high moral people, but they know that if you did it, I can do it. I might do it crookedly, I might do it. But the idea is that it can be done by me. And if we can get that in us as a driving force, it can be done by me. There is a principle in me. There's a power principle in me that I can unleash in my life that will change my life because I can be great. Because I'm part of the anyones, right? Because I'm part of the anyones. Nothing that is impossible in spirit is impossible in the flesh. What are we talking about? What are we saying? If it can be conceived as an idea, unformed, unfleshed. What does that mean, unfleshed? Hasn't manifested yet, hasn't been demonstrated yet, but it is in spirit form, in the form of an idea, then in fact, it can be brought forth by the human. Wow. It can be brought forth by the human. Nothing that we can think is impossible in action. That may not look the same way as we thought it would look. Reminds me of a movie, a biblical movie. I don't remember the name of it, but it was Jesus and it was this other character. And as Jesus is performing these miracles, this other person is performing miracles too, but still feels slighted, like they're not getting the recognition that they should. You know, Jesus is getting this recognition and I'm not. So they said, I have to come up with something much greater than what I've been doing. I'm gonna have to out miracle Jesus. And so in the movie, the guy said, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna fly. But initially it was a magic trick. He was gonna be so high up that people couldn't see him, and he had a mechanism that would hold him. You know, the wire couldn't be seen, and he would fly around this building because he would be held up and he would look like he was flying in there, and no one could see he was being suspended. But he got so caught up in the envy and the jealousy and the need to be outshine someone, the ego, that he told his people, I'm not going to use it because I can really fly. So we know what happened. He jumped off and he flew straight down. You say, well, what does that have to do? Years later, people are flying. They just are not flying like he thought it would be, you see. So sometimes it can happen, but it won't necessarily happen like you visualized it, but it still comes forth. So if we don't fight, this is my vision, it's got to be like this. But I'm tapped into this power principle. Where is it guiding me? What is it leading me to? Where am I going with it? I have this idea. It came from spirit. It was invisible. I didn't see it any place until it came to me. So now what's next? Well, Waddle's telling us Remember the power principles inside of you. Get counsel. Sit with it. Allow it to guide you. Don't jump off the building. Nothing that we can imagine, nothing, it says, is impossible. So if you can imagine it, it's possible somewhere down the line, just like our friend that jumped off the roof. He could imagine it, and down the line, it happened. And even got pretty close to what, his deal was, because there are people that do, I think it's called some kind of glider, hang glider kind of situation where the boat takes them and it pulls them so fast and they're holding on the wings, air glide, I think it's called, something like that. So it did kind of come, but not the way he saw it, not when he saw it, and not motivated by ego, but by work, a lot of work. Remember, the deed was greater than the work. So to get people to be able to hold on to some wings like a kite and fly, it took a lot of work, greater than the deed. Talk about us. Humans are formed for growth. This is so powerful. If we understand this, if we understand that it can change our lives, we don't have to do anything great to have a change in life. We have to do some accepting. And one of the things that he's telling us that we can accept is that there is a necessity in our DNA to grow. So if I'm sitting around and I'm miserable because, and nothing going my way, blah, 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 it probably has a connection to I'm not growing. And it's necessary for me to grow. Because I stopped growing in height or weight doesn't mean that I stopped growing in intellect, in expression, in skills, in desires. Necessity. Then he tells us it's essential for our happiness. So if I'm miserable and I see I'm not growing, I can say, well, heck, my lack of growth is contributing to my joy. It's contributing to my joy. They say some people drink or do drugs not to escape. Some people, not to escape, but because they are not happy with the success that they have. They're not growing, and they don't know that's the case. They don't know that this growth is necessary. They don't know it's essential. And so they turn to other things thinking that will help. But we're learning now that it's necessary for us to keep studying. It's necessary for us to keep reading. It's necessary for us to keep writing. It's necessary for us to learn new skills. It's necessary. And then we take that into the medical field, and the doctors or the medical science tells us that you want to always do some stuff to stimulate your brain, right? Always have activities that stimulate your brain all through your life, no matter how senior you get. Why is this? That's stimulating, that's growth, that's success. It's necessary, it's essential. So the next time someone says, all you do is work crossword puzzles, say, I'm a happy little camper and I'm growing. Life without progress becomes unbearable, unendurable, unhappiness. So let's stop for a moment and say, if I'm not happy, is it because this situation or this situation, because this challenge or because of that challenge? Or is it because I don't feel that I'm expanding, growing? And that's essential to my well-being. So these challenges are going to keep going on, but I have to find a way to get that feeling that I am growing, that I am expanding, that I am expressing. Let's read this one together. The principle of power gives us just what we ask for. Just what we ask for of it. If we only undertake little things, it only gives us power for little things. But if we try to do great things in a great way, it gives us all the power there is. At some point, it seems that he's telling us that we need to attempt something really great. Now, what's great for me is not great for you, and what's great for you is not great for someone else, but something great, something that takes us way outside our comfort zone. And there will be enough power to get us through. The deed is outweighed by the effort, overshadowed by the effort. So the energy, the power for the effort will be there. And really, that's where our happiness is, in the fact that we are growing, we are meeting those essentials that he talks about and the necessity that he's talking about by the effort. We want to see results. So don't say, Rev told me that it's just the effort. I don't have to worry about the results. That is not true, and I did not say that, nor am I saying that now. Yes, we want to see results, but remember, the result may not look like we thought it would look. It may look better, it may look the same, and it may be disappointing. But it's the effort that created the growth energy. It was the growth energy that was essential for our well-being. So we have to know that. We have to have things in perspective and not, again, get into the ego and say, hey, I can fly off this roof with these fake wings because my ego says I have to have a great show of demonstration. No, the demonstration will come, the manifesting will come. It's the effort. It's the effort that kept you meditating every day. It's the effort that kept you going and exercising. It's the effort that had you make sure you read every day. It's the effort that kept you on pace, on schedule. It's the effort. It's the effort. Remember that. Because what? Any person can become great. Any person. There are two mental attitudes that a person can take. And you have to choose which one. Now they may, at various times, one may creep in that you really don't want, but you can't let it stay. You didn't invite it in, it crept in on you, so you have to ask it to leave. One attitude is that the world does this to me. Woe is me. Look at what the world's doing to others. That's the one that's looking at external, environmental issues, things, occurrences, and allowing that to dictate their actions. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just two mental attitudes. That's one of them. There are people running around right now who said, oh, this guy is elected president, it's just, And there are other people running around with a different attitude saying, okay, this is what it is. How am I going to look at it? That's the other attitude. How am I going to see it? How am I going to, maybe not consciously saying this, but how am I going to let my power principle come forth to move me through whatever's getting ready to go down? Because I don't know how it's going to look, but I know I have within me some power that can help me if I allow it to move through whatever I have to face. Can help me, but I have to allow it to. Two different mental attitudes, as he says. Become self-active, and that's what we were talking about on the last slide. Become self-active. Today's words is become self-actuated. This was written early in the 19th century. Early in the 20th century, more in the 21st century, early in the 20th century. So the words can be a little bit different. As I edited because it was man, this, man, that, man, this. And it's like, that's not where we are now. So I had to do a little adjusting so it would be more palatable for anyone to read. I can't imagine a female reading man, and feeling really comfortable or connected with it. I can't feel comfortable if it was a race that was reading about another race and they're telling how great this race is and there's no connection, you see. So we want to find connection, but I digress a bit. We have two stages, let us say, of consciousness. Okay, that's what we just talked about. Those two mental attitudes. One is, as it says, a child of chance. Well, you know, it's really rough. They're not hiring. Now, understand this. As I share this with you, don't get me wrong. This is not making fun of anyone. This is pointing out that it happens to many people. And it can be a detriment to them enjoying life and having the opportunity to succeed and grow. Now that we understand growth is essential to happiness. So we don't want things in our way that are going to inhibit our growth. When we identify them, when we see them, we know that we must find a way to allow them to dissipate out of our lives. Now, in the evolving consciousness, it's the same situation. If the jobs were scarce here, they're still scarce, right? But maybe the scarcity allows the evolving consciousness to say, I must create my own job, and that creates a business, and I'm a happy person. Maybe it moves that person in a direction that, hey, you know, it's rough out there. Why don't we get together and go sell apples or whatever? You see, those are the child consciousness and the evolving consciousness, the woe consciousness, and the consciousness, something can be done. Now, in that idea that something can be done, remember, you don't just pop into it. Most people don't. It's like there's a woe is me for a moment. But it only should be there for a moment. It shouldn't be part of our lives. Because we already are reading here that we must expand, and woe is me won't let us expand, won't let us grow, won't let us blossom. So just for that reason, I can't stay in this woe is me as good as it feels at this particular moment because it inhibits my growth. And if I don't grow, I become stagnant. If I become stagnant, my desire dies. And I won't let that happen. So yes, woe is me today, woe is me tomorrow, but not woe is me the next day. Can't do it. Because what? There is this stuff that's available to me no matter what's going on in my life. I'm part of the stuff. I'm part of the stardust. And there's more of it. Just because I haven't figured out how to shape it, just because I haven't figured out how to bring it forth in my life, does not mean it is not there. It just means I haven't figured it out yet, and I'm going to trying a way to figure it out. And if I tell my power principle, we've got to figure this out, how to get you going, my power principle says, I'm glad you asked. I got some ideas. Oh, yes. Any person may become great. Again, I want you to look in that imaginary mirror if you don't have a real one. And just imagine your face looking back at you as you say, any person can become great. That means me. My greatness is not your greatness. Your greatness is not someone else's greatness. He talks about in this writing, he talks about the fact that we are here, right? And we have some preordained stuff that is easy for us to do. You say, well, that sounds like some old stuff there. Not really. It's kind of simple. There's some people that have a voice and have an ear for music. They're preordained that they can sing. I'm not. Now, they came here with this. You see little children that pick up an instrument and learn, they can play it without learning anything about it. They came here with this. So let's not take preordained and make it something more than it is. He's saying simply that, yeah. And he also says, excuse me, that just because you're not preordained to do whatever it is that you might want to do doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just says that it's easier for those people. I might be able to learn how to carry a note. I don't know. I don't think so. But I might be if I go to, voice training and da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. But that's hard for me. But it doesn't mean I can't do it. And that's all he's saying, is that whatever this talent, this thing you come here with, makes it easier for you, if you find it and pursue it, to achieve in that area, but not saying that other areas are off limits to you. It just may be more of a challenge. That's all. So we should know that. Nothing was ever in any person that's not in you. You say, I don't know about that, Red. Well, let's talk about the bad stuff. Let's just talk about the bad stuff. Each one of us has the ability to go into a store and steal. We all have the ability to go steal. Now, some of us will get caught and some of us won't get caught, but we have the ability to steal. Now, we don't necessarily use it. Most of us don't, but it's there. It's there. We have the ability to read. Some of you are saying, no. There are people that are dyslexic and they can't read. Well, there's probably a way that you could put a book together and they could read that too. So the ability is there. It's what are we going to do with an ability? I'm not going to go into the store and steal just because I have the ability, right? But because you have the ability to do something great, to achieve something great, I need to know that it's in me too. It is not the same ability. We just talked about that. There's something maybe in you that pushed you in an area that it was easy for you to adapt in. And for me, I need to find the area that is easy for me to adapt in so I can get my greatness, or say, I'm going to go where you are. I just know it's going to be harder for me to get to the top where you are because this is not really my thing. But you got there, so that means it's possible to get there. Anything anyone else can do, anything that's in another person is in me too. No person ever had more spiritual or mental power than you can attain. Oh, that Reverend so-and-so, I'm not going to use me. That Reverend so-and-so, boy, that boy there, that lady there, woohoo! Now they got the spirit. He's letting us know you got it too. I got it too. See, once I accept the fact that I might have something that has yet to be uncovered, rather, then I can start uncovering it. And when I do, I might find that it is greater in me than I thought it could possibly be. The deed is greater. The effort is greater than the deed. The effort is greater than the deed. So it's a lot of work to do that uncovering. And then after it's uncovered, to shake it off, dust it off, shine it up, and get it moving. No person did greater things than you can accomplish. Wow. You see, it's kind of moving aside. Were they, without pumping up our ego where we jump off the roof without the strap. It's saying just sit back and absorb and take it all in. I got that in me. Now that's a different perspective than, you know, I've been a loser all my life. I never made it. I probably won't. But just to say, I got that in me. Now, I don't know why I haven't brought it forth, but I got it in me. See, because if you don't accept the fact that it's in you, you can't bring it forth. It's impossible. Nobody could bring it forth because you don't believe it's there anyway. Well, I'll try. I know it ain't in me. I ain't getting ready to do nothing. But when you say accept, it's not just in one person, it's in all people. And I'm part of all people. I'm part of that. Yeah. Then he hits us with this major that is wonderful to lead with. You, me, I can become what you want to be. There's a power within you that if you unleash it, if you let it out, it will help you get to be what you want to be because you already are. You already are. I already am. This is not Pollyannish. Been using a lot of bad words lately, so I'm gonna resist that one. But it's not Pollyannish stuff. This is for real. Now, do you want to do the work to become what you say you want to become? That's the question. Stop asking yourself, can I be that? Am I willing to pay the price to do that, to become that, to express that, to demonstrate that, to manifest that? And then realize the work is inside of me. Yes, there's some outside labor, there's some jobs, there's some money getting stuff that you have to do, but there's a lot of inside stuff that you have to do too, so they can come together. And as he said early on, allow the soul to express the life that you want. It's not just one-sided. We have to understand that. It helps to understand that. That is not. That is both. It's outside work, effort, sweat, tears, and it's inside work, tears, work, allow, work, ego sit down, work, you see? And when they come together, you will not jump off the roof without the support. Wow. It has been a joy today to end the year on such a positive note and to start the new year, or kind of pre-New Year start, with the idea that whatever has been, and whatever will be. But in the now, you can start affecting your life, knowing that I have to grow. That's probably why I'm so miserable. That's probably why I'm doing the crazy stuff, because I'm not doing the things to grow. And stop looking at, I'm 99 years old, I can't do no growing. You're still here. You're still here. Okay? So it's a perfect time for that. And it's also a perfect time for me to share with you and remind you about our events coming up on January the 11th. That's the second Saturday in January. We have the affirmative prayer workshop in the morning. We have the burning bowl ceremony in the evening. It's going to be a very spiritual Saturday, we like to say, a soul-filled spiritual Saturday. So I suggest that you go over to our website, unityocs.org. And that's, again, many people have to put the HTTPS:// in front of the Unity. And right at the top of the page is an opportunity for you to get more details and to register. The registration is free. And then later in the month, I believe it's the 21st, we start our first class of 2025. The book is Sermon on the Mount, Emmett Fox. And right now we're looking at all the materials that you need, including the book itself, to be available to you online free of charge. So with that said, I thank you so much for joining me on the last Sunday of 2024 for our virtual book club live chat. We didn't get a lot of live chatting here. We got to get you more involved and asking questions and giving comments, you know. But anyway, we'll take what we have right now. We'll continue to enjoy being present on this earth and know that even this is part of being great. That whatever the vision is for Unity of Chicago South spiritual community is still in the coming forth stage. I love that. So with that said, this is Reverend Art Ken. Until 2025, I say blessings and bliss. Namaste. And know that in you is all that you need to be all that you can. Thank you.